If you've been following my no-buy journey so far this year, or if you're doing a no-buy journey yourself, whether that's a no-buy month, a no-buy year, this video is for you. It has been 11 months since I stopped shopping or ventured on my no-buy year, so I have 1 month left. And while I haven't done it perfectly, I am still pretty proud of the 11 months that I've put in. I shared in my last update, which I actually didn't do a 10-month update, I did a 9-month update. But I shared that I did end up shopping. And I remember I had a really bad day and I was at work and I just went up my lunch break and I popped into some shops and did some browsing. But I have to say, those pieces that I bought that time, I have worn them non-stop since I bought them, like every week. So there's some shoes and a t-shirt and I've basically just worn them so much. So while they weren't a bad purchase, they were still cheating on a no-buy year. So pros and cons. I want to start out with that little update because for those of you who may not have watched the last one, you might think a no-buy year has to be perfect. It means you don't shop at all, and if you do, you fail and you just either go back to the start or you quit. And that's not really it. That wasn't the point of it for me, and that doesn't have to be the point of it. It's not like 75 hard where you have to do every day perfectly, and you know, if you fail, you just go back to the start or you quit. It can just be that learning journey. Like, it's a 12-month journey for me. The whole point for me was to stop emotional shopping, which clearly when I last shopped, it was emotional shopping. But I've done a lot better, and to be able to say that that was the first time I did that, it took me 9 months to get to that point, it's pretty good. And I'm also just going to give myself a little bit of grace because, yeah, I'm going through some things in life, and sometimes we need more of an emotional outlet than literally sitting down and looking at our feelings, trying to work through them. Sometimes we just need an outlet for that isn't like hard. It's like something easy, just something that's like an instant reward, whether that is going and getting a takeaway for yourself, whether that's having a bath, whether it's meeting a friend for coffee, or sometimes it is shopping. And I don't want shopping to be my outlet for like emotional problems or kind of as a way to drown my sorrows or as a way to celebrate, but sometimes it is, and it's a lot better than it used to be, so I'm happy with that. Some of my goals, when I shared in my original how to do a no buy video, I put in that emotional shopping was something I want to work on. And some of my tips were things like journaling, to really kind of write down how you're feeling and kind of work through how you're feeling instead of just going out and like trigger shopping, almost like impulse shopping. Another one was things like going and meeting a friend and having a good chat. Things that would actually improve your mood and not just be like a quick fix or like a band-aid kind of thing. That was something else that I mentioned in my retail therapy video, if you haven't seen it, and if not, I'll link it in the cards. But how retail therapy is not therapy because it doesn't actually cure anything or fix anything, but it is more of that kind of like band-aid. Like it helped in the moment, but especially if you're on a no-buy year, it kind of just makes you feel worse long term. So not only do you have this issue that was upsetting you, but now you feel guilty because you shopped. So not a good mix. I actually have a list on my phone of like when I feel sad, this is what I should do. So it's like when I feel angry, I will go to the gym or go for a walk, get my body moving. When I feel sad, I'll have a bath, do a face mask, spend time with a friend. When I feel stressed, I'll take a break from screens and read a book in bed. When I feel unsure / meh, so I don't really know what's wrong with me, I just feel a bit blah. I will journal to identify the feeling. Is it actually sadness or disappointment or something else? When I'm feeling bitchy, I will journal instead of bitching about somebody or to other people. When I'm feeling happy, I will share this feeling with others and use the time to create fun content and embrace that energy. So having that list on my phone has been really helpful as well. So sometimes in the moment we don't know what we need. We don't know what is necessarily going to help us. So I wrote that list when I was obviously in a good mood, and I kind of was able to like reflect and really think about what I needed in certain situations. Going back to my no buy year as well, I started writing a list of things that I have added to my wardrobe in the last 11 months, and the list was a lot longer than I kind of thought it would be. So I knew I had been working with brands and getting new things into my wardrobe, obviously, but looking back over 11 months, I kind of just realized like how much stuff I actually got. And of course, when I'm working with a brand and creating a video, I need to have product to style, to talk about. I need to have reviewed their things to even promote a brand. Otherwise, I can't say if I like it or not, or I'm not going to recommend it if I haven't tried it. But it has accumulated, and I have been lucky enough to have had a really good year on YouTube. Ironically, possibly due to creating no buy content and having great feedback on that. So that was kind of always weighing on my mind, and especially lately, as I come to the end of this year and as I've reflected on how much stuff I've accumulated. And I really didn't want this year to be about me pushing you to shop as well. So it's always that balance, but then it is really hard as a content creator to make something your job if you can't earn money from it. So I have to find a way to balance working with brands but creating really authentic content at the same time. Like, I never want to be that pushy person who says you have to buy this, you need this, you can't live without it. I never use phrases like that in my videos. I will always kind of say, like, if you're looking for something like this, like, I could recommend this, or if you're looking to shop. If you're not, don't feel any pressure to click these links. I like to add things like that. I hope that helps. Yeah, it's just kind of a bit of a conflicting situation to be in. And in a way, I'm looking forward to being at the end of my no-buy year so that I can stop feeling as guilty, getting stuff into my wardrobe and then making videos about new things, but then also sitting down and being like, yeah, I'm not shopping, I'm doing great, I'm not buying anything, and which we know isn't the full truth anyway. I like to mention that because I know there's a big difference between someone who isn't a content creator doing a no-buy year or no-buy month and someone who is still gets to enjoy new things in their wardrobe. My main thing was that emotional shopping habit, and I suppose I've still been able to work on that even though I'm getting new things in my wardrobe. It wasn't necessarily all about not having new things, but part of it was that I wanted to enjoy the wardrobe that I already had. And so obviously getting new things into my wardrobe meant I wasn't doing that as much. So that's something I will really like to continue maybe into this new season as we move into autumn, which it doesn't look like we are. I'm wearing like a one shoulder top today and it's really sunny outside. But yeah, enjoying my wardrobe and just making sure I'm wearing as much of it as possible and that I'm not just kind of getting stuck wearing the same things on repeat all the time. Although I love wearing like my style uniform. I've made a few videos about recently. I absolutely love the combinations I come up with. I do love all of my outfits, but I have beautiful pieces in my wardrobe, like some dresses and things like that that I don't wear. It's either wear them or get rid of them. Like, what is the point in me having them if I'm not actually wearing them? So I've been doing a little bit of a wardrobe switch around today. So I've added a couple of dresses back into my wardrobe. So hopefully over the next couple of months, I will get wear out of those. I think because I'm coming to the end of my no-buy as well, I'm starting to scroll more on Vinted and be like, what can I buy in a month? Another thing that I wanted to work on during my no-buy year was not just wasting all my time scrolling on Vinted and always looking for like more stuff, even if I wasn't necessarily going to buy it all. But I have found myself doing that again because I know I'm getting closer to that time when I can shop. And there has been stuff that I've saved for months, possibly even since like nearly the beginning of my no-buy, and I'm like, fingers crossed that will stay on for one more month. Because there's a really nice like pink wrap cardigan there from COS. I love it. I've actually been good enough to not buy it, but I still think I really want it. So I would really like to treat myself to that at the end of September, so beginning of October, if it's still there. I think it'd be a really nice colour to add to my autumn wardrobe. I really want to try mixing some like pinks and burgundies. I think that would be a really good combination, or even like that pale pink and like a burnt orangey brown. But yeah, I'm really excited about my autumn wardrobe. Autumn is my absolute favourite. I love the colour palette. For anyone currently in a no-buy year, well done for even attempting it for a start. If you do slip up, I don't think it's worth beating yourself up over. I think it's maybe worth tracking it. Write down what you bought, write down how much you spent, write down the feelings you've had just before you bought the item. Was it like a big dopamine hit? Were you having a really shit day? Were you trying to cheer yourself up? Did you have a fight with someone? Did you just have a really stressful work day? Like, just acknowledge it and take something from it, like learn from it. Maybe that's what a no-buy year is really about. It's not always about buying nothing, although that is the obvious name of it, but it's about really building that awareness around your shopping habits instead of just not really being conscious of it at all. So I feel so much more mindful now. Sometimes if I'm about to walk into a shop on my lunch break and I'm like, no, don't do it, because you're going to see something you want that you don't even realize you want yet, and then you're going to want to buy it. So I'm so much better at like not going into shops. I'm better at looking at things on Vinted, and I might save some things into my favorites, and then I'll look through it and I'm like, realistically, no, I don't want that. No, I'm not going to wear that much. These are not me. These are like fantasy self stuff. So I'm building a lot more awareness around that. Or sometimes I'll try and convince myself that it's like an essential that I need, and I'm like, no, it's really not. So I think my mindset around shopping has definitely changed and definitely gotten better. I definitely don't shop as emotionally as I did. And I think last year was probably a more emotional place for me in the first place when I started, going through a bit of a shit year, so things are definitely better, but I think it also helps that I'm not just indulging myself all the time and making myself feel worse for spending all my money in shopping. This is, well, was meant to be just a quick little update. Also, I wanted to ask you how you were getting on with your no buys, because I know lots of you are doing no buy periods of time, whether that's 1 month, 3 months, anything like that, a year. Let me know how you're getting on. Let me know what kind of dilemmas you've come up against, or if you've kind of learned anything about your shopping habits in this process. I think one of my favorite things about this last year on YouTube has just been building this community of people and kind of like having these conversations around not shopping and being a bit more mindful about our consumer habits. And yeah, just the conversations I have and the comments I get on my videos, I absolutely love it. If you haven't already subscribed though, I would absolutely love it if you did. I have a big goal to hit 10,000 subscribers soon, so if you wanted to help me work towards that, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for watching today. If you have never tried a no buy and you are looking for somewhere to start, you can check out my video on the screen, which is all about how to set yourself up for success for a no buy year. I hope you're all keeping well, and I'll see you in my next one.